Hi guys, welcome to Click Video Mag on Embargo Day.
Good morning.
We love being here on Embargo Day and having a whole bunch of cool stuff to tell you about. So I'm going to start with me, if you don't mind. Two great big white lenses. My 400mm 2.8 L series IS becomes a Mark III. The 600 f4L IS becomes a Mark III today. Both of them with massive reductions in weight. 400 2.8 loses well over a kilo, becomes just under 3 kilos.
Just under 3 kgs.
600 f4 just over 3 kilos. Massive reduction in weight. That's purely by shrinking optics, moving them further into the lenses. We've added air sphere coating, so the same stuff that we put on the 7200 a couple of months back. Great for shooting into bright sources of light, reducing flare in a big way. But we are so excited because the market's been waiting for an update for those for absolutely ages.
Absolutely ages. Just imagine them lying here.
I know, we wish we had the samples. Not getting samples, unfortunately, as yet, but sometime in the near future. Not only a weight reduction, not only better in terms of the optics, it stabilizes a little bit better, and a new coat of paint on the outside.
That coat of paint, that white, it's just poor.
They are very shiny. I'll show you a picture of them because I've had my hands on them, but I can't. The other big news
of a littler scale.
But a statement of quite big intent.
Yeah, a statement of where we're going. A lot of people have been saying to us,
move that closer.
Mirrorless EOS M is going leaps and bounds, but we need something else. We need glass. And I think this little baby that's in front of the M50 here, it's a 32mm f1.4. Absolutely amazing piece of kit. I've been shooting it. We've been shooting with one for quite a while now. It is at 1.4. It's absolutely godlike in what it gives you on sharpness, what it gives you on depth of field. Close focusing distance of, it's tiny, it's like
about 23 centimeters.
23 centimeters.
It's very good.
Of course, on the crop factor, this goes about to a 50mm 1.4. Very interesting to say that the guys who designed this says this is approaching L quality. Now, you know that L series lenses are our end all and be all of lenses. So for them to say this is approaching that just shows you that the amount of design and the amount of glass and optics that's in this little lens. Couple that with the M50 or couple it with any of the mirrorless cameras currently around, and it's a beautiful little portrait lens. Its focusing is brilliant in low light. So love it to pieces, and like Raj said, this is a statement of we're still deadly serious about EOS M. I'm expecting a lot more announcements on EOS M, especially mirrorless lenses. So happiness for things to come.
And it's your third prime lens for the mirrorless lineup. It's my third prime lens. There's now 22, 28, and then 32. Well, given that it's a 32mm focal length at 1.4, and the design limitation on EOS M is that always been that front diameter of that lens cannot exceed the size of the body. But if you have a look and see how much space there is still there,
it's huge.
It would appear that there would be more space to make even faster primes moving further forward, or even a wider variety of primes. So we've got the 22mm f2, which is tiny.
It is.
There's nothing stopping Canon from actually making either slightly wider or even a slightly brighter version of that. There's a hell of a lot of space as far as that's concerned. I'm actually quite excited, as I said right at the beginning, as a statement of intent.
It's really
fast primes is what a lot of people have asked us for.
For sure.
Here's your first. On top of the 22mm pancake, that is a standard lens at f1.4. Ta-da! I was thoroughly blown away.
I was blown away by the article.
I'm going to do a Lens Day Wednesday episode on that coming up soon, and you'll see some of the sample images in the background of that. They are just truly and utterly astonishing.
Cool. Now, people around about now are going, why is there a Rode mic sitting on top of our camera?
Yes. Okay, the next big thing.
No, we haven't bought them. What we are doing is we've realized that the vlogger market is growing in leaps and bounds.
Indeed.
DSLR is no longer a DSLR. We've said this a few times that it's now becoming a VSLR market.
Absolutely.
So we did a deal with Rode where we are doing some vlogger bundles now on the M50. If I start with the M50, we're doing M50 because it can shoot 4K at the crop. The 1122 goes brilliantly with that. With the Rode microphone, those are going in stores as we speak. You're also doing two bundles.
On the 77D with a 10-18 and on the 80D with the 18135. Also, all with the Rode microphone and a decent SanDisk memory card to go with it.
Don't you have the adapter thingy?
Power zoom adapter on the 80D with the 18135.
That's a nice bundle.
It is a nice bundle. But again, check those out in stores. Those are pretty much unique to South Africa. The main reason why I wanted to focus on this and talk about the other two lenses before...
Can we talk about the elephant in the room?
We have to talk about the elephant in the room. We know that this baby's going to steal all the thunder.
Absolutely.
And it's what everybody wants to know about. There's going to be 1,000 different opinions, 1,000 different videos uploaded by the end of today. especially in light of the big competitor announcements a couple of months back. So I'm going to ask you to just slide that out of the way
and make some space.
Slide that little monster into
don't turn it away for too long, it might disappear.
And do one or two other little odds and sods while we're at it.
Don't hide it now.
No, I'm not going to hide it. Okay, so obviously this is the great big news of today. Canon's finally entered the full-frame mirrorless market with a bang. Now, what's interesting is like the entire announcement is essentially went live this morning. The world's going, ah! The essential thing that we have to remember is that we're launching a new system. It's not we're launching a new camera, we're launching a new system. We've not done a new massive lens mount change since 1987 when we went from manual focus to autofocus.
Yeah, so unless you consider EOS M, but EOS M wasn't
even
mount design.
Even EFS was a modification of EF. EFM is a modification.
Yeah,
this is a totally new lens system completely. Obviously with full frame on a mirrorless type of system, we can afford to make the lenses more compact. It's a lot easier for us to make fast, bright lenses. And as you can see from this, we now have a whole bunch of new contacts on there. It's a 12-pin communication system between the camera and the lens. On announcement, as of this morning, we've announced 4 lenses. 2 of them are going to ship immediately. The new 24-105 f4L stabilized, the 50mm f1.2L, which is absolutely heavenly, a new lightweight compact 35mm 1.8. And then the absolute beast, unfortunately, I wish I could put it on the table, but it would actually obscure everything else on the table, the 28-70 f2L, which at time of announcement is the brightest kit zoom lens available for a full frame camera. Now, it's a statement. The statement is essentially we're launching a new lens system, and the lens system was more critical than anything else to see as today's announcement. The camera is part of that. Obviously, this is the first camera to coincide with the new system, and it's quite a considered product, but it's not a flagship, it's not a pro, it's not a beginner, it's not an amateur, it's a general purpose, middle of the range type of camera, which can be thrown into a variety of different environments. It's a 30 million pixel sensor, it is full frame. As you can see, the compact design, this is a battery grip that is available at launch. That will take 2 batteries with vertical grip, all your full controls are there. And it uses the standard LPE6N battery.
Thank you again.
And again, a lot of pro photographers are going to love that on a major scale because we've stuck to the standard battery. Unfortunately, obviously sticking to the battery, you now have a little bit of physical size. So the whole thing about mirrorless is always about small form factor. We're looking for tiny cameras.
That grip is so comfortable.
Like the M.
That grip on that camera is absolutely amazing.
So keeping the big battery meant we could have lots of shots. The CEPA testing results, you'll see all the numbers in the spreadsheets that are going out during the course of today. But it makes for a very, very comfortable grip. Unfortunately, with doing that, having the big grip and having a small body, we've gone with 1 memory card slot. So the entire world is going to focus on this because the entire world focused on that with our competitor products announced 2 weeks ago. And it's not a big deal. It's a SD card, but it's a UHS 2, so it uses the very, very high speed SD cards. And the evolution of quality of the SD cards now is so high, and the durability, the robustness, especially the big brands.
Size limitation on the card?
Well, indications are that 2 terabyte is not infeasible. 20 intents purposes, UHS 2, 64 gigs is pretty much the norm.
Okay.
So what we've done here is a very considered camera that's great for the general purpose photography use. It can be thrown into a pro environment. The big things we've looked at is a new design, new culture. The top board, as you can see, is quite similar yet quite alien. Gone are the program dials with MTV. That is here. AV, TV is all there. Your power switch is over there. Your wheel at the front is familiar, but the wheel at the back is gone.
That's interesting.
So, but we now have that as the back wheel.
And you've got that interesting.
And then there's another interesting thing over here, a little rocker arm, which can be used as a slide or as a click. So big things that people are going to love. Flip out screen. The vloggers are going to love that. The build quality, the size is really small, lightweight, easy to use at arm's length. 4K, brilliant quality on camera. It does crop. So we don't do a full sensor readout. We use the center of the sensor. Now this was a big negative on the 5D4 because people wanted wide angle. And on the 5D4, you can only use the 11-24, which was A, huge, and B, expensive. And for a vlogger to hold that at arm's length,
he's a big vlogger.
Big ass arms. So to that end, not only have we made the lightweight 35 1.8, which is not a bad standard lens, but we have also got this little baby. Now this is obviously the clincher as far as Canon's concerned.
Absolutely.
It's the EF mount adapter. Now this is going to come in 2 or 3 incarnations, primary of which, when you buy the body only, it's going to come standard with that in the box.
That's very cool.
And as you can see very, very carefully, not only has it got the red dot for EF mount, it's got the white dot for EFS.
Good Lord.
Now what that essentially means is the big negativity that people say, oh, it's crop, it's got a small sensor, how do I get wide angle?
It's a 10 to 18.
EFS 10 to 18, 10 to 22, it's 3.5. So you get small, lightweight EFS kit lenses, which if you put it on and shoot it in stills, will crop the sensor from 30 down to about 11.5, 12 million stills, because it's EFS, it's designed for that, the 1.6 crop sensor. But when you're shooting 4K, put an EFS 10 to 18 on there, you've essentially got a 1635, which for the vast majority of people is more than wide enough. But in a small light and above all else, cheap as chips.
I need to jump in here.
Okay, go on
because when we released this one, the biggest moan everybody, oh, it's a crop.
Yeah.
Then they realized, hang on, if you put the 11-22 on it, it's awesome.
It is.
So now,
well, we've got the same thing. But the clincher here is dual pixel autofocus is astonishing and available throughout the entire thing. It's the negative thing on the M50 that the dual pixel autofocus switches off in 4K. Having said that, in 4K, it most certainly stays.
Yeah, that's nice.
The big thing, every single one of those dual pixel autofocus sites is selectable as an autofocus point. So when people say, what's the autofocus? Is it 300? Is it 400? Well, no, it's close to 5,500. And essentially, you have the situation is you can look through that viewfinder while recording video, and you can use your thumb to just glide anywhere, pretty much on the screen. Even better, when shooting video like that, using your thumb, you can actually just select the top right-hand corner as your autofocus zone, so you don't have to try and push your thumb down to the bottom left here.
That's very cool.
It's finicky, I'll make no mistake, those focus points are tiny, and 5,500 of them means it's going to be quite interesting.
Can you switch some of them off and leave some of them on? No, okay,
but
fine.
Dual pixel is astonishing.
Dual pixel, we've known.
Face tracking is astonishing, and for the first time ever, eye tracking. Now, it's not tracking in terms of continuous for video, it's not tracking in terms of continuous for stills, but in one-shot stills, we now have eye autofocus. So the fashion photographers are going to love that, because not only you face detect, especially when 50mm 1.2, when your depth of field is that. More importantly than anything else, the lenses. As you can see, especially from the 50mm 1.2, if any of you have ever shot with the Canon EF 50mm 1.2, I did a Lens Day Wednesday episode about the 50-1.2 a couple of months back. Physical size, it's way bigger. It is absolutely huge. No, it's not. It's heavier. Because of the difficulties that are often involved in trying to get light to focus on a full frame sensor past the distance of a mirror box. You often have this distance of about 40 millimeters between back of lens and sensor, and it was very, very difficult to bend light there. Sure. Now with the sensor so much closer to the bayonet, the flange back distance is about 20 millimeters. Yeah, I know. That's another thing the pros are going to love out. As you can see, with the camera switched off, and when you remove a lens, the shutter closes, so you can't actually see the sensor. That's a safety feature.
That's very cool.
Now, obviously, with the flange back distance being only 20, it's a lot easier for us to fill that frame. The back element no longer has to be so big if you compare that to the 51.2 traditional lens, and it means there's scope for even brighter lenses in the future. Now, it's one of the coolest things that we have. You know, it's a Canon-made camera, it's a Canon-made converter, and a Canon-made range of lenses that you know and love, that you've
it's a Canon system.
Used to all the time. As of announcement date, world's fastest autofocus system using the 51.2, but the autofocus, my God, to put it bluntly, I was gobsmacked. I was totally blown away. The viewfinder, I've been struggling to get used to an EVF. I've never liked the M5 or the M6. The M50 was the first one.
Was better.
The first one that I was actually, I'm okay with an EVF. Then I used this.
Yeah, I looked at
not
it
only
a
with
little bit, and it's wow.
Yeah. Well, the exposure simulation for still photographers to see what the picture's going to look like, that's a big thing that they like.
Big wow.
But the older, more old-fashioned photographers, grey-haired among us, don't necessarily like that. We like the viewfinder with full brightness. And you can do that. You can tell it to have the viewfinder at full brightness. It was always the one disconcerting thing going from an SLR to a mirrorless. It's like, why is the mirrorless so dark? And it was because of the exposure sim. As I say, you can turn that off. We can go on and on and on and on about it. All I'm going to say to you, it's awesome. It's going to be shipping mid-October in South Africa. Price TBC, but it is more expensive than a 6, but cheaper than a 5. And it's pegged not as the mirrorless version of the XYZ camera. It's a new camera altogether, and it's meant to be linked to the new system. And more than anything else that we have to know, the system is the most critical thing. You will see immediately when you pick up these lenses the weight and the heft of them. We've done this properly with better, faster, better stabilizer than even the new Mark II 24-105. The optics, the sharpness across the entire frame, unfreaking believable.
Yeah, the 24-105 has always been our lens of choice.
If I could force this on my 5DS R, I would, but I can't. It's sad but true. Having said that, there is one new thing. You'll notice this is a 50mm prime, yet it has 2 rings on it. So there's a focus ring, but there's no focus window because that gets shown in your viewfinder exactly where you're focusing. Don't nod like, okay.
No, I'm going.
That's never happened.
I'm wondering what the hell that is.
That's a new, as you can hear, there's a click, which can be declicked. That is a multifunction ring. And what that can essentially be used for is a third option. So if you want to be an operator where you've got shutter speed on your index finger, f-stop on your back, you can have that as ISO in front of your lens. So that's pretty damn handy to have all 3 of your primary exposure things as and how you want. Alternatively, if you want to stick with auto ISO, that can be your shutter speed, that can be your f-stop, that can be exposure compensation.
Is this little rocker also then usable for something else?
There's 9 buttons on here you can customize for different functions, which is absolutely astonishing. So you can not only customize what you do in slide. The default setting for that is slide left and right ISO on and off, but you can customize click. So it's not just slide, you've also got up and down as another setting as well. So the customization of it is actually pretty damn astonishing, and I do like that a hell of a lot. And there's a lot of things about it that says, hey, this is quite seriously pro. The build quality, it doesn't feel cheap and nasty. It is kind of serious, but it's not really pegged at the pro end. There will be faster cameras. This is only 5.5 frames a second in continuous, or about 8 frames a second in one shot. So it's not incredibly fast, but it's a hint of what we're thinking of and what's going to come in the future. I'd love to see what's
I love the way you say that. It's not incredibly fast. 3 years ago, it's what we had.
Other big things people are going to love the HDMI output. Delivers 4K in 422 at 10-bit with C-Log built in. So the video guys see that this is a very, very serious product from a video perspective. And again, as I was mentioning earlier about the adapter, there's a second adapter available with a control ring.
Okay.
So essentially on the adapter itself. So it converts all of your EF lenses that you put onto it
to a little control,
and it'll have that control ring. So if you start getting used to this ring and you want it now, you can now go buy the extra adapter that's got that.
That's humongously cool.
The third adapter that we're going to make has got a drop-in filter tray. So either your circular polarizer, a dialable circular polarizer for stills, or a drop-in dialable neutral density filter that the video guys are going to love as well. So we've thought about it quite seriously, and again, that adapter there's no optics in it. It's just the standard 8 pins in the front to the 12 pins at the back, which is what the photographer is going to want. In the box with the body only. Love that. Well done, Canon. Well done, Canon. Can't state how brilliant that is, because there are people who are going to want this as a backup body to their 5D4, DX, or 5DS.
And the nice thing is they don't have to use any other funny adapters to get our lenses to it.
And it's a Canon lens, Canon adapter. Wi-Fi, NFC, Bluetooth, and also a direct upload, which is all of the connectivity you'd want and expect. I challenge you, please, don't get bogged down on a single thing that you don't like, or a single thing that might not, oh my gosh, it doesn't make it, whatever. Get past that, because there's a lot more to it that make it a hell of a lot more serious. But let's see what the world says over the next couple of months. This is going to be kind of radical. We are extremely excited. again, more about that than this. This is just a means to the end at the moment. This is what it's all about.
Cool.
And as I say, when you look at that 51.2 and that lovely red line on there, there's no ways in hell you could consider this as anything other than really, 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 really high-end stuff. I haven't seen the MTF graph on it, but the results I've seen compared to my EF 51.2, it's better by a very, very, very long shot. And to me, to my mind, that was gobsmacking. And the amount of shots I got that were bang on focus at f1.2, I've not had that same sort of ratio with any of my other 1.2 lenses.
Would you say that's just lens, or would you say that's a lot to be prescribed to the focusing system on that?
Both.
Is it?
It's both. That focusing system is only as good as the lens that we put on the front here. I haven't had a chance. My gosh, it was announced this morning. I haven't had a chance to test it with absolutely anything else. We're going to throw it in the field as quickly as we possibly can, with as a wider variety as we possibly can. I want to put that 1080 on it. I want to start vlogging. You'll see on some of our follow-on videos that are coming up shortly, and also to get the feeling of what other people liked and didn't like. Canon has entered the full-frame mirrorless fray, and we've done it with a big job, not a little tiptoe. It's a serious statement. Right, no pressure. Please do not forget that awesome 32 mirrorless lens on the EFM. It is an absolute killer, and it is going to lose so much publicity in light of this. But that is a serious statement.
I think there's a clear definition between the two systems.
Indeed.
There's definitely the guys that sits on this side and the guys that's gonna look on that side.
Yeah. As always, thanks very much for watching. Please post your comments below. Let us know what you like. Subscribe. Tell people about what we're talking about. We love sharing information with you, and especially on embargo days. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, guys. Go well.